Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the news cycle on Global Television coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app on Android and iOS devices. Now let's get to the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has called for a comprehensive revaluation of global governance, financial structure and health systems, advocating for a fairer, more inclusive world order that truly reflects the interests of emerging and low-income economy, particularly in Africa. Speaking at the 17th BRICS Summit of the Global South in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Tinubu warned that global challenges like environmental degradation, climate change, and healthcare inequality continue to hinder sustainable development, especially across African continent. The summit, hosted by Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, was Nigeria's first participation as an official BRICS partner country, following its admission into the blocs on January 17, 2025. The National Information Technology Development Agency, that is NIDA, has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing digital literacy in Nigeria's education sector in alignment with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which prioritizes education, health, and social investment. As part of this effort, agency's Director General Kashiru Inoa has led a delegation to the Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education Commission, Hajia Aisha Garba, to deepen collaboration aimed at integrating digital literacy into Nigeria's basic education curriculum. The engagement marks a continuation of National Information Technology Development Agency's broader strategy to work with key educational bodies, including the Federal Ministry of Education, the National University Commission, and the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council to ensure digital skills development is embedded at all levels of learning. In another development, Nigeria has rolled out its first fleet of compressed natural gas, that is CNG vehicles, for the Nigerian Armed Forces, comprising of 20 buses, 50 pickup vans, and 14 executive transport units. Was commissioned at the Magadushi Cantonment in Abuja as part of government's broader clear energy strategy under President Bola Tinubu. Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed Matawale, stated that the initiative aimed to reduce dependence on fossil fuels, cut carbon emissions, and commitments, while highlighting the potential for long-term cost savings and operational efficiency, describing the move as a step toward transforming the armed forces into a model of innovation and sustainability. Matawale stressed the importance of building technical expertise among military personnel and establishing CNG refueling stations at key military installations. The Senate has passed a bill mandating all raw materials to undergo a minimum of 30% local processing before they are exported from Nigeria. The decision followed the adoption of the report by the Senate Committee on Science and Technology on the amendment of the Raw Materials Research and Development Act 2022. The bill, sponsored by Senator Onyekachi Ebonyi, representing Ebonyi North, seeks to provide and promote value addition, strengthen the local manufacturing sector, reduce reliance on imports, and stimulate sustainable economic growth. The House of Representatives has scheduled a public hearing on the proposed National Assembly Infrastructure and Property Agency Establishment Bill 2025 as part of the ongoing legislative effort to institutionalize infrastructure development and maintenance within the legislature. In a statement posted by the official handle of the House of Representatives, the bill seeks to establish an independent agency that will be responsible for the construction, development, and maintenance of National Assembly infrastructure and properties. The hearing is being convened by the House and House Committee on House Services, and it's expected to draw participation from stakeholders, civil society organizations, professional bodies, development partners, the media, and the general public. The Anambra Police Command and the Independent National Electoral Commission have stated that they are ready for the August 16 senatorial by-election and November 8 governorship election in the state. The Commissioner of Police, Ikyoye Arutugo, and the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Elizabeth Agu, said this in a statement in Oka. Arutugo said the police have been meeting with other security agencies and INEC to ensure hitch-free election in the state. Ahead of the 2027 general election, with political alignment already taking shape and the recent opposition coalition adopting the African Democratic Congress, that is ADC, as its platform, many Nigerians are once again faced with mixed reactions. Global TV correspondent Priscilla Obasi hits the street of Abuja to gauge public sentiment and to find out if Nigerians are ready to participate again in 2027.
As the race to 2027 unofficially begins, political conversations are heating up, especially following the unveiling of a new opposition coalition under the ADC banner. On the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, residents are reacting to the move and reflecting on whether this coalition offers new hope or just more of the same.
Those that form the coalition are not jokers. They are very serious Nigerians. They are those that they also have a lot of them with integrity, a lot of integrity. Yeah, so it's not something that APC should go and fold their hand. No, because I'm seeing a storm coming. Nigerians are not happy. Nigerians are not happy. God is not happy, because they say the voice of men is the voice of God.
Anybody telling you that our vote is counted in Nigeria is even he or herself. Just like the last election, which we did, 2024. It's a transparent election which INEC did, and all of us were excited. But along the way, before everybody could get up in the morning, we stand that different thing altogether.
Coalition thing didn't start today, so I feel like if they don't have selfish interest, they'll have Nigerians at heart. It's a very good initiative, and it's something that we should support, and because we want the government of the day out, and we want people that have the people in mind to be empowered.
For them, they're just the same politicians, like rotating themselves.
While some expressed renewed optimism, saying the new coalition brings hope, others are skeptical about whether any coalition can truly deliver change, saying it's just the same people pretending to bring change.
Right. Are you going to vote?
Yeah, I'm going to vote.
Why?
It's a right now. It's a fundamental right. You have to vote. You cannot be apathetic to voting.
I'm a very good citizen of Nigeria, and I want the progress of this nation. We are not going anywhere. No leave, no transfer. This is our country, so we must make it work.
Despite the doubt, many say they plan to participate in the 2027 elections, hopeful that growing political awareness and unity among opposition forces may lead to a more credible outcome. As Nigerians prepare for another round of elections in 2027, the question lingers: will hope defeat apathy? Priscilla Obasi reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Labour Congress, that is NLC, has cautioned those seeking to remove labour provisions in the Constitution from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list to perish the idea. The call followed the public hearing held on the review of the 1999 Constitution across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. The Congress also vowed that moves by those who want to further impoverish Nigeria workers would be raised, stating that labor issues must remain in the exclusive legislative list to avert negative implications for workers and the economy. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress has called for the unconditional and immediate release of all withheld local government allocation to the lawfully elected governments in Osun State. This was contained in a communique issued after the meeting of the Congress National Administrative Council and the Central Working Committee held in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The body also asked the Attorney General to retract an unlawful directive to federal financial institutions and cease further politicization of local government autonomy. In the meantime, the Labour Congress has vowed to intensify enforcement of the 70,000 naira national minimum wage, targeting non-compliant employers, particularly in the unorganized private sector, where some workers reportedly earn as little as 15,000 naira a month. Assistant Secretary General of the Congress, Onyeka Christopher, stated this while implementation of the new wage has seen moderate progress in the public sector. Violation in the private sector remain a significant concern. Onyeka said the unorganized private sector poses the greatest concern. Noted, these are the workers we are most concerned about. The minimum wage law offers them the most protection. Ahead of the August by-election, the All Progressive Congress, that is APC, faces internal squabble in 4 strategic local government areas in the southern part of Adamawa State. The faction crisis is tearing the party apart in Ganye local government area, where the by-election is scheduled for August 2025, and in Tungo, Jada, and Mayobewa, where unity will also be necessary towards the 2027 general election. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, BRICS urges rich nations to fund energy shift as Trump threatens tariff. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Now let's take you to the world of business, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has reportedly cut its selling price of petrol in Abuja. This change coincided with the drop in global oil prices, with Brent crude dropping to $68.30 per barrel as at 4th of June. NNPC Limited retail outlets sold the product for as low as 910 naira per litre in Abuja, which means petrol is now 35 naira cheaper than the previous price of 945 naira per litre. U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at the 11 nations of BRICS, vowing to impose an extra 10% tariff on the grouping that include Brazil, Russia, India, and China. In a post on his Truth Social platform, the United States President noted that any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policy of BRICS will be charged an additional 10% tariff, insisting that there will be no exception to this policy. Meanwhile, the BRICS has called on world wealthiest countries to fund the energy transition of poorer nations to enable just transition pathways that combine climate action with sustainable development. In a joint statement during a gathering in Brazil, the group stressed the importance of accessible, timely, and affordable climate finance for developing nations, saying it is vital to achieving fair energy transition that align climate goals with sustainable development. This stance reflects the typical position of the Global South, which includes nations like China and Russia, arguing that industrialized countries have historically reaped the most benefit from fossil fuel-driven development and should now bear greater responsibility for reducing the carbon emission they produced. In a response to Trump, China says the BRICS, the group that also includes Brazil, Russia, and India, was not seeking confrontation after United States President Donald Trump vowed to impose an extra 10% tariff on countries aligning with the bloc. Trump said he would send the first tariff letters to various countries days before his deadline for trading partners to reach a deal expires, adding that he would send a first batch of up to 15 letters, warning that U.S. levies on imports would snap back to the high level he set in April if countries fail to make agreements. And on the foreign scene, Kenya police has clashed with protesters on the outskirts of Nairobi on Monday during an anti-government demonstration marking Saba Saba Day. Security forces set up roadblocks and sealed off the city center, dispersing crowd with tear gas. Protesters responded by throwing stones and looting shops. Many businesses in the capital shut down for fear of violence. Tensions remain high as President William Ruto faces a growing public discontent ahead of the 2027 election. Saudi Arabia has introduced a new skill-based classification system for expatriates' work permit as part of ongoing labor market reform under Vision 2030 and National Transformation Program. The new policy officially redefines how foreign workers are assessed, hired, and managed in the kingdom, with a focus on improving job-to-skill alignment, boosting productivity, and supporting long-term economic goals. The rollout began on June 18, 2025, for existing expatriate workers. United States President Donald Trump has slammed former ally Elon Musk's launching of a new political party as ridiculous, deepening the Republicans' feud with the man who was once his biggest backer. The world's richest man was almost inseparable from Trump as he headed the cost-cutting Department of Government Efficiency, but they fell out hard over the president's big, beautiful tax and spending mega bill. Musk says the president's massive domestic spending plan would explode the U.S. debt and has promised to do everything in his power to defeat lawmakers who voted for it. Israel's military has bombed 3 ports and a power plant in Houthi-controlled area of Yemen, prompting the rebel group to fire more missiles towards Israeli territory. The Israeli military said it has struck the port of Hadida, Rasla, and Salif on the Red Sea coast, as well as the Ral-Kati power plant. The military also noted that it struck a radar system on the Galaxy leader ship, which was seized by the Houthis and remained docked in the port of Hadida. Now from the weather sport, a former Croatian international Ivan Rakitic, who spent much of his career with Barcelona and Sevilla, announced his retirement from football on Monday at the age of 35. Rakitic, who began his career with Basel and later moved to Ashok played 106 times for Croatia and started his country's World Cup final loss to France in 2018. He was part of Barcelona's treble-winning side in 2015 and twice won the Europa League with Sevilla. Rakitic had a short spell with Saudi club Al Shabak last year before one final season at Honjuk Plains. Ahead of the 8th African Nations Championship taking place in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda next month, the Super Eagles B, comprising of home-based stars, will begin campaign in Ikene, Ogun State. Head coach Eric Chile has invited an initial 35 players to come for the tournament, which will be played from August 2 to 30th. The tournament was postponed twice before the new date was announced by CAF. Nigerian international Ola Aina has signed a new 3-year contract with Nottingham Forest, extending his stay at the Premier League club until June 2028. The 28-year-old fullback joined Forest in July 2023 on a 1-year deal following the expiration of his contract with Italian side Torino. He made an immediate impact, featuring regularly at left back as the club narrowly avoided relegation in his first season. Meanwhile, Forest activated a 1-year extension clause in Aina's contract in May 2024 after securing the Premier League status. The new long-term deal now reflects the club's continued faith in the defender's consistency and versatility. That's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.